happens at Amish weddings that would shock outsiders accustomed to modern marriage ceremonies? These traditional customs create wedding experiences completely different from contemporary celebrations and expectations. Wedding timing. Modern couples schedule weddings year-round based on personal preferences, venue availability, and weather considerations. Amish weddings occur only during specific seasons, typically November and December after harvest completion, when farm work allows community celebration. Spring and summer weddings are forbidden due to agricultural demands, while winter weather considerations don't affect timing decisions. This seasonal restriction means couples must wait months for appropriate wedding dates, regardless of personal romantic timing or pregnancy considerations. Guest lists. Contemporary weddings involve selective guest lists, formal invitations, RSVP tracking, and seating arrangements that limit attendance based on venue capacity and budget constraints. Amish weddings include the entire community without formal invitations or guest limitations. Word spreads through the community about upcoming marriages, and everyone attends regardless of personal relationships with the couple. Hundreds of people participate in wedding celebrations, creating massive gatherings that would overwhelm modern wedding venues and budgets while demonstrating complete community support for new marriages. Ceremony location. Modern weddings typically occur in churches, commercial venues, destination locations, or outdoor settings chosen for aesthetic appeal and photographic opportunities. Amish wedding ceremonies take place in family homes or barns, with the bride's family hosting the celebration in their residence, regardless of space limitations or weather conditions. No church ceremonies occur, despite the religious nature of marriage, because community gathering spaces serve sacred purposes. The home setting creates an intimate atmosphere while accommodating hundreds of guests through careful furniture arrangement and space utilization that transforms domestic spaces into ceremonial venues for one-day celebrations. Wedding attire. Contemporary brides spend thousands on white wedding gowns, professional hairstyling, makeup, and accessories designed to create memorable appearance for photographs and special occasion recognition. Grooms wear formal suits or tuxedos that differentiate wedding attire from everyday clothing. Amish brides wear plain dresses in blue, purple, or brown colors identical to their regular clothing, without special wedding dress purchases or distinctive bridal appearance. No makeup, jewelry, or elaborate hairstyling distinguishes wedding day appearance from typical daily dress codes. Grooms wear standard black suits identical to their Sunday church attire, without special wedding clothing or formal wear purchases that create distinctive groom appearance or wedding day recognition. The plain dress requirements eliminate wedding fashion expenses while maintaining community values about modesty and simplicity that prevent individual distinction or material display during marriage ceremonies that focus on spiritual commitment rather than personal appearance or social status demonstration. No rings. Modern wedding ceremonies center around ring exchanges that symbolize eternal love, with couples investing thousands in engagement and wedding rings that demonstrate commitment and marital status to others. Ring selection, proposal presentations, and ring ceremonies create major elements of contemporary marriage traditions. Amish marriages completely eliminate wedding rings, engagement rings, and all jewelry from ceremonies and married life. No symbolic objects represent marriage commitment, and no visible markers indicate marital status to community members or outsiders. The absence of rings reflects religious beliefs about vanity, materialism, and worldly decoration that conflicts with plain living principles. Marriage commitment exists through spiritual vows and community witness rather than material symbols that might create pride or status differentiation. Wedding ceremonies focus entirely on spoken vows and religious commitment without physical object exchanges that characterize modern ceremonies. The ring absence eliminates significant wedding expenses while maintaining focus on spiritual rather than material aspects of marriage commitment. Married couples demonstrate commitment through behavior and community participation rather than jewelry that might create individual distinction or material display, contradicting community values about equality and simplicity. Food preparation. Modern wedding receptions involve professional catering services, restaurant venues, or hired food service that provides meals for specific guest counts with predetermined menus and commercial food preparation that eliminates family cooking responsibilities. Amish wedding feasts require community-wide food preparation, where neighboring families contribute dishes, cooking labor, and meal service for hundreds of wedding guests without commercial catering or professional food service assistance. Women from multiple families coordinate massive cooking efforts that begin days before weddings, preparing traditional foods including roasted chicken, mashed potatoes, stuffing, vegetables, and desserts sufficient for entire community attendance. Community kitchens and borrowed cooking equipment accommodate food preparation volumes that exceed individual family capabilities, while shared labor distributes cooking responsibilities across multiple households, rather than burdening single families with overwhelming food preparation demands. The collective cooking demonstrates community cooperation while providing traditional meal service that maintains cultural food preferences and eliminates commercial catering expenses that would conflict with community. Self-sufficiency values. Food preparation becomes community celebration activity that strengthens social bonds while ensuring adequate nutrition for wedding guests through traditional recipes and cooking methods that preserve cultural heritage and demonstrate mutual support for newly married couples. Gift giving. Contemporary wedding gifts come from expensive registries featuring luxury items, china sets, crystal, silver, and decorative objects chosen by couples to establish elegant household displays and lifestyle upgrades that reflect personal taste and social status aspirations. Amish wedding gifts consist entirely of practical household necessities, including furniture, tools, bedding, cookware, and functional items that newly married couples need for immediate household establishment and daily living requirements. Community members contribute handmade furniture, quilts, canned goods, farming equipment, and essential household items that provide practical value rather than decorative or luxury purposes that might conflict with plain living principles. Gift selection focuses on utility and necessity rather than personal preference or aesthetic appeal, ensuring that newly married couples receive everything needed for independent household operation without requiring additional purchases or commercial acquisition. Handmade gifts demonstrate community skills while providing superior quality items that last decades rather than commercial products that require frequent replacement or updating through changing fashion trends. The practical gift approach eliminates wedding registry expenses while ensuring that new households begin with essential items rather than luxury objects that might create pride or material focus inappropriate for community values. Community gift coordination prevents duplicate items while ensuring comprehensive household establishment through collective contribution rather than individual gift selection based on personal relationship levels or financial capability. Differences. Honeymoon absence. Modern marriages typically include honeymoon travel to romantic destinations, luxury accommodations, and private couple time that creates memorable experiences while establishing intimate married life away from family and social obligations during relationship transition periods. Amish couples return immediately to normal daily routines without honeymoon travel, romantic getaways, or special post-wedding activities that separate them from community life and family responsibilities. Marriage begins with immediate integration into adult community roles, rather than private couple celebration. The honeymoon absence reflects practical considerations about agricultural work schedules, family responsibilities, and community obligations that cannot be interrupted for personal romantic activities that might conflict with essential daily tasks and seasonal work requirements. Travel restrictions and community separation concerns prevent honeymoon activities that might expose newly married couples to worldly influences or create desires for lifestyle changes that conflict with traditional community values and religious commitment. Financial considerations eliminate honeymoon expenses while directing resources toward household establishment and practical marriage needs, rather than temporary romantic experiences that provide no lasting benefit for community, integration, or family development. Immediate return to normal routines demonstrates commitment to community welfare over personal pleasure while establishing marriage patterns that prioritize collective responsibility and traditional role fulfillment rather than individual romantic satisfaction. The practical approach to marriage beginning reflects community values about work, responsibility, and spiritual focus that take precedence over romantic experiences or personal enjoyment that might distract from essential life purposes and community contribution requirements. Living arrangements. Contemporary married couples typically establish independent households, purchase or rent separate residences, and create private family life independent from extended family involvement or generational living arrangements that provide couple autonomy and personal space. Amish newlyweds often move into extended family households or establish residences on family property that maintains close proximity to parents and relatives, rather than creating independent nuclear family separation from generational support systems. Multi-generational living arrangements provide economic advantages through shared household expenses, cooperative work arrangements, and mutual assistance during illness, childbirth, or emergency situations that individual households cannot manage independently. Young couples benefit from experienced guidance about household management, farming operations, business development, and child-rearing practices that older family members provide through daily interaction and shared living experiences. Extended family integration ensures continuation of traditional practices, skill transfer between generations, and maintenance of family farms or businesses that require multiple workers and collective decision-making rather than individual management approaches. Housing arrangements often involve building additions to existing family homes or constructing new residences on family land rather than purchasing independent property that creates physical separation from family support networks and community integration. The living arrangement approach maintains family bonds while providing economic security through cooperative household management and shared resource utilization that reduces individual family financial burdens during marriage. Establishment periods. Community land use patterns support extended family living through property inheritance and development practices that keep families geographically close while preventing the residential dispersion that characterizes modern suburban living. Patterns and nuclear family isolation from extended family support systems. Marriage records. Modern marriages require state marriage licenses, official ceremonies performed by licensed officiants, legal documentation, and government record-keeping that provides legal recognition, inheritance rights, and social service access through formal marriage registration systems. Amish marriages operate through community recognition and religious ceremony without formal government licensing or legal documentation that creates official marriage status through state record-keeping systems and legal marriage recognition. Community marriage records maintain informal documentation through church leadership and family records rather than government databases that track marriage statistics and provide legal verification for official purposes, including insurance, taxation, and inheritance proceedings. Religious ceremony validity depends on community witness and church approval rather than state licensing requirements that mandate specific procedural compliance and official documentation for legal marriage recognition under civil law. Systems. The informal marriage system reflects separation from government involvement in religious affairs while maintaining community control over marriage standards and recognition criteria that align with traditional values rather than civil law requirements. Legal complications may arise regarding inheritance, medical decision-making, insurance coverage, and government benefit access when marriages lack official state recognition despite community acknowledgement and religious validity within traditional frameworks. Some Amish communities obtain marriage licenses to satisfy legal requirements while maintaining primary emphasis on religious ceremony and community recognition rather than civil documentation as the essential marriage validation method. The documentation difference creates potential conflicts between community, marriage recognition, and legal marriage status that may require navigation of both religious and civil systems to ensure adequate legal protection for married couples and their children. Modern legal systems increasingly require official documentation for marriage-related rights and responsibilities that informal community recognition cannot provide, creating practical challenges for couples operating outside formal marriage registration systems while maintaining traditional community values and religious autonomy. Courtship surveillance. Amish courtship involves intense community oversight that would shock modern couples. Young people cannot date privately. Every interaction is monitored by family members and church elders. The couple must always have chaperones present during visits, and physical contact is strictly forbidden before marriage. Parents arrange most meetings between potential partners, and the community discusses every developing relationship openly. Unlike modern dating, where couples have privacy to get to know each other, Amish couples conduct their entire courtship under watchful eyes. Evening visits happen in the family's main room with parents nearby, and conversations are often overheard by multiple family members. This system ensures marriages align with community values and religious beliefs, but it means couples enter marriage knowing very little about each other's private thoughts, personal dreams, or individual personalities outside of carefully supervised interactions.